Jason, it's such a pleasure to have you here today. You're an international model and actor. You're in the business for over 2 decades, traveling the world, working in over 47 different countries. Your face and image and likeness has represented global brands such as Coca-Cola, American Express, Shell, Danone, the list just goes on and on. And you come from humble beginnings. You're brought up in a small town in Georgia, never having flown on an airplane prior to the launch of your modeling career at age 24. What was the most exciting location that you've traveled to?
Wow, that's difficult. From the Swiss Alps to the Italian Alps to Sardinia and Sicily and Italy. I mean, I really loved Italy. I spent most of my time there, basing because it's like the fashion capital of the world. And I was told very young that I had to go to Milan just to become a model. So in my mind, I had to go live there. But once I got there, the Italians were so loving and great people, and the food was delicious. And I just loved it. So I kept going back and forth to see the Italians and work. And I had clients over there and friends. So it was like a great life.
What was your very first experience like traveling overseas to model?
It was difficult. It's the first time I've been on a plane, and I had to fly over 20 hours.
And where did you go? Your first?
I went to Southeast Asia to live in Taipei, Taiwan on a contract. They gave me to go model and shoot TV commercials there.
And what kind of modeling work did you do?
Magazines, fashion shows, underwear catalogs, just TV commercials for all of Asia.
So you did acting as well?
Yes, I shot many commercials.
And was it kind of a scary experience because it was your very first experience traveling on an airplane?
It was different. You know, I was in a different country. I didn't know anybody. I drove for hours to the city, and then I'll see all these neon lights everywhere, and I'm like, oh, this must be where I'm going. And I kept asking the driver, you know, trying to talk to him, but they speak Taiwanese, which is a Mandarin Chinese dialect, and he pulls me up to this really crowded place, and he's telling me, get out, you get that car here. Like, I don't know where I'm at. You know, I had like these brochures of a 7-star hotel, which is the Lai Lai Sheraton, and I'm looking all around going, I don't see a Sheraton hotel here.
Oh my God.
So I was sitting there like, okay, this guy's either gonna have to move me out of this car or I'm gonna have to fight him, I guess.
So what happened?
Just like a few seconds later, I get a knock on the window and I see a lady standing there and she's banging on the window. So I roll it down like this much. And I was like, yes. And she's like, this is Ariel. And that's the girl I've been in contact with for 6 months. So then I rolled the window down a little more. And she's like, would you please come out the car? We have a hotel for you 2 nights and then we take you to your other place. And I was like, okay.
So you decided to stay?
Well, I had no choice.
What production that you worked on was one of your most favorite or memorable?
Well, I shot a worldwide TV commercial for the Hard Rock Casinos, and that took place in 5 different countries.
Wow.
Me with a film crew of 20 people just jumped from island to island shooting the different locations because they just built all these new high-rises in Panama, Central America, South America, and there's a couple of them in Florida.
How long did it take to film it?
Well, that commercial was the longest. It took like 2.5 months to film.
So, Jason, you had told me previously that you get on a plane every 3 months and travel to another country. And having been afforded the opportunity to experience some of the most exotic locations in the world, what would you say your favorite location to travel to is?
It's really hard to say, but I love the places that I lived in. Like Greece was probably my favorite time in my life.
Why is that?
Just the way the Greeks live life. They enjoy it. They work different times. Like they don't start working till like late morning, work through the lunch, work almost to the evening, and then they just like celebrate and have fun and party and go out. And I was working a lot, but it was just experience the culture there, the food, architecture, like the Acropolis. I could see this Parthenon lit up at night from my hotel room where I lived. It was just surreal.
And coming from a small town, did that change your outlook or perspective on life being able to experience these different cultures?
It opened up so many different things.
And how so?
Made me grow as a person, experience different cultures, learn different languages.
And how many languages do you speak?
Fluently 0, except English, but you know, I know a lot of Spanish, a lot of Italian, a bunch of Greek, and I'm learning Spanish as we speak now.
That's great.
And a little bit of Mandarin. Wei shi shi ni hao, ni hao ma.
You come from humble beginnings. You were brought up in a small town in Georgia. What was life like growing up in the historic town of Stone Mountain?
Well, it was pretty nice. Everybody kind of knew everybody. waved. You know, everybody was nice. You know, everything was just easy, kind of like it is here. It's quiet, peaceful,
Do you ever miss it?
every day.
Your mom went to work full time at a bank. Your grandmother owned a farm and she cultivated vegetable crops. And you guys essentially lived off the land.
We sure did. We
So-
fished for lunch. We had vegetables. We did it all.
Did you participate in fishing?
Every summer, I had to. My mom made me. My grandmother, like, whipped me if I didn't, like, pick the beans, the lima beans. You know, it was just like we had Huskadine vines. You know, we made our own wine. We did everything.
That's really cool. Part of your family's tradition for generations has been to attend Catholic school.
On my father's side, yes.
On your
The
father's
McAllisters.
side?
Every McAllister born in the U.S. since like 1880 has gone to Catholic school.
And you're very avid in fishing and you're very athletic. In fact, when you were 9 years old, you were featured in, was it Sports Illustrated?
Sports Illustrated, yes, for soccer.
And how did that come about?
I had been playing since I was 4, and I was pretty good, and I started getting looked at by a lot of international scouts, so they started coming to my family's home and trying to talk us into me maybe going and playing on a worldwide soccer team and traveling the world internationally year long, but my family didn't want me to do that.
And so, how did you feel about that?
I was okay because I was playing football and baseball also locally where I lived, and my father was a football coach, so really all I wanted to do was play football.
And did you ever think that you were going to become a model or an actor?
Well, I always wanted to be an actor.
You did?
I always wanted to be on TV. But modeling, I never even heard of it. Didn't know the first thing about it.
So when did it come about that Jason McAllister said, I want to be an actor?
It was after high school, actually. My girlfriend was Miss Georgia, Miss USA, and she was a model and actress. And she actually got a New York photographer to come down to Atlanta to shoot my photographs. She wanted to build me into this model. And she pretty much opened many doors.
And did you foresee yourself leaving that small town of Stone Mountain at some point?
No, I had no clue I would ever leave.
I just want to thank you so much for coming all the way from Miami.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.